All right, everyone. Hey, I was gonna do a whole thing, and then didn't quite go how I was expecting. Thank you for joining me on my Battle of the Brains launch celebration. I'm so excited. I've got Remy there. Oh, we lost to Kinsey. She's like hiding. She's hiding behind Remy, so you can't see her. And they're both blocking the book, but we're getting this going. All right, I'm going to check with my assistant to make sure things are coming through. My assistant says yes, so I'm going to keep going and hoping that you guys are seeing this. We're going to do a little celebration again. Uh-oh, it's kind of, even my celebration thing is going down. All right, so I don't know. I'm streaming this on a number of places. So you could be watching on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. You could be watching this on one of my personal accounts, on one of the 21 for the Books accounts, one of the Picture Book Scribbler accounts, Adventures of My Publishing, the Trans Mutt. So we hopefully have it going a lot of different places. And if you are on Facebook or Instagram for sure, you can, if you have any questions or comments while this is happening, you can type it in the comments underneath the video. And I'll be able to see them. If the technology is working, this is a new piece of software. This is why I'm not sure what's happening. I decided to be bold and brave and try something new for this. So it might be a disaster and no one is watching this me. Or everyone's seeing it and I'm making a fool of myself. Who knows? But we're trying our best. So anyway, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to I was going to play the video of my puppies celebrating the happy birthday celebration. So I'm going to open that up. Take a second. Hold on. And then I'm going to play it. You should be able to see it when I share it. Again, we hope everything's going okay. Here she is. I think you can see me and Kinsey both helped me with the birthday celebration. And so here we go. We're going to play it. Maybe. Got it up. I'm trying to get it to play. Here we go. Remy is getting excited for it was the happy birthday celebration for Battle of the Brains. I appreciate them helping with that celebration. So the next thing I wanted to do is I think I told you guys new software. So please be patient. And if you have any questions or comments during it, you can type it where you are. Especially if I know it works if you're in Facebook and Instagram. I'm not so sure about Twitter, but you can type a comment and I'll be able to see it. Oh, I hear a fancy thing. Oh, we have someone who wants to join the broadcast. We have a guest. I'm going to admit our guest right now. And then, hi, Julia. I'm going to add her to the stream. Hi, hello. Julia. Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little crooked, but this is how my desk is.
Yes. This is how it's all going. It's been a weird day today, I have to tell you. But we've got me there, and I think Kinsey's hiding behind her. Yeah, you can't even see Kinsey because she's hiding from me. And so Julia. Oh, do we have Olivia?
Here she is.
Hi, Olivia. Hi, Olivia. How are you doing? So Julia is one of the owners of Itinerant Bookstore. And they are my partner bookstore. If you order from Itinerant, you get a signed and personalized copy. So please order from Itinerant. You also will get, when I have them, if you order from Itinerant, you get these amazing stickers will come with your order. And there will also be a a sheet that will allow you to give you the website address for all the digital bonuses, because we have a bunch of great digital bonuses I'll talk about later. But so if you order from Itinerant, ordering Itinerant is the only way to get the stickers. So you want to order from them. So Julia, I'll turn it over to you now.
Yeah, hi, I'm Julia from Itinerant Literate Books, and we are located in North Charleston, South Carolina. We've been open since 2016. We started as a mobile store, and we moved into our current space in 2018. Yeah, and we are pretty small, but we try to pack as much as we can in the store. We love supporting local and regional authors as well, like Jocelyn. Thank you so much again for having us be your store for signed copies. Yeah, and Olivia does come to the store. She helps me out on my shifts, so you can often stop by and find her there. She is a little, as you can see, camera reluctant, but she loves interacting with everybody in the store. Yeah, and that's us. We love seeing all your faces, and thanks so much for having us.
Thanks, Julia. I can't tell you how exciting it is to come to your store and see my book on the shelves. It's so exciting. It just, it's like one of the things you're dreaming about for years is seeing your book on the shelf and to walk in and see it there. It's just amazing. So I appreciate you guys and all the support you have for local authors. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Well, I will let you get back to your day, and I'll let Olivia get back to her day because I'm sure she has very important things to do. Bye, Olivia. Bye. Thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us. Bye.
Bye. All right, so I've dropped some web addresses in the chat. Hopefully those are coming through. Again, new software, so I'm not totally sure. You can go to Itinerant Bookstore. It's Itinerant Literate Books. You can go there. I have some directly to Brains, so you can order from Brains. You could also order Butts. Order Battle of the too, and I'll be there. I'll be signing books, so I can sign and personalize Battle of the Brains and Battle of the Butts. And like I said, the only way to get your stickers, you look at these awesome Brain stickers. The only way to get them is to order your book from Itinerant, and they will be in your package. But anyone at this point who has ordered a copy of Battle of the Brains, we are doing digital bonuses this time. The illustrator, David Crichton-Pester, and I have partnered together to provide a whole slew of digital bonuses. Let's see, I printed some of them out. So David, he's the illustrator. He's amazing. You saw his work in Battle of the Butts. I think he topped himself with Battle of the Brains. He did some amazing stuff. So he has, we're doing kind of like the DVD bonuses. So if you love the bonuses and DVDs, that's kind of what we're going for. So he has a whole making of thing that he's put together. It's for one of the spreads. It's for the spread for the pigs. So pigs are one of the animals in Battle of the Brains. And he has put together kind of his process for stepping through and doing the illustrations for the pig spread. So you can see him in action. He also created these amazing activity sheets. So So we have a maze for the kids. So it's like this amazing maze for the kid he put together. And another little spoiler, we got some rats going on there. So that's one of the animals. And then he also created this amazing word game for the African Grey Parrot. So it's a little decoding thing, so you can decode for the African Grey Parrot what the message from the parrot. If you have ordered the book at this point, you have to do it by the end of this broadcast tonight, because you go to the Rafflecopter at my website at jocelynrish.com, and you put in all your little information, and we will email you the digital bonus. In addition, Running Press Kids, our publisher, has provided some coloring sheets. This is one of them. There are 3 different coloring sheets. This is one of them. So your kids can print these out for your kids, or if I like the color, I sit there and that helps me relax. So you can print these out, color yourself, and it's a lot of fun. And then I am actually providing a deleted scene. So again, if you like the bonuses on DVDs, mine is the deleted scene. So the deleted scenes from, I'm actually doing Battle of the Brains and Battle of the Butts. I'm covering both of them here. So anything that got deleted after I first wrote it from Battle of the Brains or Battle of the Butts, I'm going to include it so you can read it, and then I'll have a little commentary explaining why it got deleted. So it will give you a little kind of sneak peek into the process that goes on, the editorial process that goes on, the various reasons things got changed and deleted. You know, some of it was with my editor, some of it was my science experts. Several things went into play to decide what made it into the final cut of the book. And so I will give you a little inside scoop into that. Okay, let me see what's up next. So one of the things that has been going on with this is that I have been writing on and off for 20 years. So it's been a long haul, and it took me it's been 20 years, so it took me like 17 years before I finally got my first book published, which was Battle of the Butts, if you guys have read it. And you know, you go through and you're writing and you're working hard, and there were many stretches when I didn't think I'd reach my dream of publishing a book. It's what I wanted more than anything, but after a lot of no's, you kind of feel like maybe it's not going to happen. So I finally got the idea for Battle of the Butts, and I could just feel it. I was like, finally the one. And it was. It got me my agent. It got me my first contract. And so when I sold Battle of the Butts, I cried. And when I held it in my hands for the first time, I cried. And when officially released into the world, I cried. So I'm like, is anything going to top that with all that crying that went on with Battle of the Butts? But Battle of the Brains is special too, because sometimes you think it's just a fluke. You know, even though you work hard and you've been, you know, busting your butt, as they say, the whole time, you're like, maybe it was a fluke. And so getting that second book is still very special, because I didn't cry at every milestone like I did with the Butts, but it meant that I was finally going to be able to make a career of this. It just wasn't one book and it was a fluke and a little thing. I had a second book. Maybe this writing thing is going to work out for me. I didn't just publish a book. I published books, plural. So that was super, super, super exciting. And because I was so excited about it, I wanted to go all out with this release. So I have done this huge giveaway, been running all month. It's called the Heads and Tails giveaway, because it's prizes for brains and butts. I got mostly brains because, of course, that's the book coming out. But I had to fit some butts in there because, you know, I did. So there are 3 prize packs. And the grand prize is worth almost $200, which includes a $50 Visa gift card. So it's got some amazing stuff in it. And I'm going to be announcing the winners at the end of this live launch celebration. So you still have time to enter. So go to jocelynrish.com and enter now. I'm going to drop the website in there. Let's see. Did it go? Oh, maybe I'll try again. Hold on. Maybe I don't know if it went or not. I'm going to try again. So there you go. So try, and so I think, let me try one more time because I have no idea if this is working how I want it to. Oh, I see it's going. Okay. So jocelynrish.com. There's a rafflecopter there. There's a bunch of ways to enter. You still have like 45-ish minutes left, however long I take to get to the end of this. And so you can enter in a bunch of different ways. There's some great prizes. So I'm actually, maybe, hopefully, if this works how I want it to, going to share a little video of the prizes, and so you can see what it is, and while they're playing you can enter, so because it's gonna be a quick little break, so you can enter while you're watching what the different prizes are. So these are all the prizes in the giant grand prize giveaway. So here we go. Hopefully this is going to work, and we're going to play it, maybe, hopefully. And here we go.
I love my stickers. See, I make pictures with mine. I mix drawings with stickers. It's such a great time. The rainbow, a flower, and a sun. I love to create. It's so much fun. We collect stickers and stick them in our sticker book. Let gonna show you this. Take a look.
Okay, hi everybody. So I said that all 3 prize packs are going to get a copy of Battle of the Brains signed by me and autographed by Kinsey. So here we go. We're going to do one so you guys can see it in action. Here we go. Ready? Ooh, ooh, ooh. There we go. There we go. All right, here we go. And whoosh. There we go. Good job, Kinsey. You did so good. There you go. All the books in the 3 prize packs will be autographed by Kinsey, and she says she's happy to do it. All right, thanks.
Oh, the African Grey Parrot is such a very, very smart bird. Oh, the African Grey Parrot, he knows so many words. He's such a... I'd like to be under the sea, in an octopus's garden, in the shade. He'd let us in, knows where we've been, in his octopus's garden, in the shade. I'm an artist, working the hardest, using my brain so I can take my skills the farthest. I'm making masterpieces in these coloring pages, mixing all these colors. I don't know what's my favorite, cause they all look so good. I'm taking my time, trying to stay in the lines and make amazing designs. Yeah, these pages are mine. When you see them, sign the bottom.
It's time for another mystery prize reveal. No, it's not cute puppy Kinsey. It's these super cool spider earrings. And don't worry, I'm not wearing the winner's earrings. They get their own pair. If I was a raven, I'd fly on through the heavens.
I got my chimpanzee, I got my monkey. I got my chimpanzee, I got my monkey. I got my chimpanzee, I got my monkey.
So when you get to be my age, you start to forget things, and I think there's a word for it. What it is? Oh, I remember. It's brain fart. So all 3 prize packs are getting this little duo here. It's a squishy for stress release brain and a farting poop emoji. Now technically it's a dog toy, but I think humans have just as much fun as the doggies. Fart. And don't worry, you won't get the one that the pups will play with. I have this big one in the bushes. You'll get a fresh one, so it will not have Kinsey and Remy slobber all over it. All right, I hope you enter. Go to jocelynrich.com and enter the prize pack. 3 different prize packs. Lots of different great things for the animals in Battle of the Brains. Go enter now. All right, that's okay. So, I mean, there's some pretty cool prizes in there, right? You know, I was trying to find some off-all things. I personally want the raven nails because those are so cool. And I actually bought a pair of the spider earrings for myself, and I had them, and I've been wearing them, and I thought I packed them, but apparently I only packed one. I am not sure what the deal with that is. I don't know where that is. Guess it's on the floor, so I can't find it. So instead I'm wearing manatees from, if you've read Battle of the Butts, you know how appropriate the manatees are from Battle of the Butts. So yeah, but I love the earrings. I mean, of course, the $50 Visa gift card, that's going to be awesome. So lots of cool stuff. So if you haven't ordered yet, if you haven't entered yet, hurry to jocelynrich.com. Go enter. Lots of different ways to enter. And again, I want to stress, if you've already ordered Battle of the Brains, make sure you go to the Rafflecopter that's at jocelynrich.com and enter your email address so I know where to send all our digital behind the scenes from. And of course, now I've got my birthday queen crown on. I don't know if you can see it, because I am both the queen of keisters and braids. I'm both, right? Should I be bragging about that? I'm not sure. Anyway, so I've got my crown on. Okay. So what is next? I know. I was gonna talk about one thing people always ask about when you're a writer is, what was your inspiration? Oh, my crown's falling off, so I'm going to take it off so I don't have a disaster here. Okay. So people always ask, what was your inspiration? So I had this really fun story for Battle of the Butts. And if you've seen any of my things, I'm sure you've heard it. You get to hear it again now in case you haven't. So for Battle of the Butts, here's the story. I've been a fiction writer. I told you I've been writing for 20 years. And for like 17 of those 20 years, I was a fiction writer, especially young adult fiction. I kind of did a little foray into grade fiction. That was my thing. I was a fiction girl. But one night, late, when I should have been doing anything else, but I was on Twitter, as I usually am, scrolling, doom scrolling. And I saw this meme, and there was a picture of an adorable manatee, and it said, manatees control their buoyancy through a cycle of farting. That's the thing you know now. I was like, what? I've loved manatees like since I was a little girl. I have never heard that. How can that be true? So I Googled it. Turns out it is true. And as I Googled it, I found all these other like really weird facts about animal butts. They were just popping up, and I'm like, okay, these are amazing, and I feel like there's some kind of book here. But I was a fiction writer. I didn't know how to write nonfiction, and I was scared of it, but it's just, you have this idea and you have to go for it. So I went for it. And finally, after all these years, got my agent, got a book contract, got a book where, let's see, there it is. Book, there it is. Got the Battle of the Books finally out there in the world. So then comes the next one. I was like, so do you have a fun story for Brains? I mean, basically, Battle of the Brains was inspired by Battle of the Butts. After we got Battle of the Butts out there, it was time to, do we have a next one? Do we have another one going on? I had a bunch of ideas about different body parts to cover. And I had been doing research all along. I had a whole bunch of animals ready to go with some of the body parts, like tongues and eyes and ears and all kinds of things. And then I got an email from my agent, Tracy Marchini, and she had been chatting with one of her colleagues, James McGowan, and they read an article about raccoons and the fact that they could pick locks. And they thought it was so cool about how smart they were and able to pick locks. And so they were like, hey, maybe this should be something for Jocelyn, and she could do Brains. That could be the next battle book as Brains. So Tracy sent me all that. And I had already had a pitch document I had created with some of the other ones I was thinking of. And I'm like, okay, I'll add Brains. So I went and researched a bunch of animals really quick. We sent the pitch document off to my amazing editor, Alice Cohen. And she got back to us and said that they had all met and decided they wanted to go with Brains. So it was Brains that got picked for the next one. So off I went to start doing the research. And it's actually a little bit sad, because even though raccoons were the animals that inspired the idea of doing Battle of the Brains, there's no raccoons in Battle of the Brains. It was hard. There's so many amazing animals that do so many amazing smart things. So I had to decide. It was very hard to whittle down to 10, because it's 10 animals in the battle books. And so I had a huge list. So if you have any guesses, put them in the comments. Tell me, what do you think were some animals that didn't make it? I'll tell you a couple of the animals. I had a really long list and started whittling it down. But so I think it's funny that the very first animals were raccoons, and they didn't make it. And mostly because I'm trying to cover my bases with a lot of different animals. I didn't want them to. Mammals typically are seen as more intelligent, smart on the scale than some of the other animals. And so I wanted. Oh, I see Kinsey coming up. There she is. If you wanted to Kinsey love, there she is. She's waking up. But I didn't want it to be mammal heavy. I wanted it to be a bunch of different animals represented. And so I had to pull some mammals off the list that probably I would have included otherwise, so I could fit in some birds and some insects, surprisingly, and some aquatic life. So it's so the raccoons didn't make it. So if you have any guesses, I can see your comments. So give me some guesses in the comments about the animals that didn't make the list but are still very smart. I'm being told there's some cuteness. Oh my goodness, that is. I had to move so you guys can see the adorableness that is happening behind me. My assistant alerted me that the cutest thing in the world was happening. So there you go, Kinsey. That's my puppy. Remy is my brother's dog, who is also my assistant. So, and also while I'm leaning out of the shot, so you can see those are animals across the top that are in both brains and butts. So we have animals and brains and butts. Oh, Kinsey's getting excited here. She might be doing something. Oh, she is. Oh, she's gonna pose for you guys nicely. So that'll be fun. You can gaze at her and her cuteness. All right. Okay, so anyway, so basically I want, people always wonder what inspires a book. And so for brains, it's kind of boring, I guess, maybe, because the inspiration for brains was butts, so there wasn't like any flash of lightning. But we went out there and I think it was fun. So now that I've talked about the inspiration for Battle of the Brains, I wanted to one of the biggest exciting moments in an author's whole journey with a book is when they finally get to hold the final copy in their hands. Like, it's all been done, everything's done, and it comes to you, and you see the boxes come and get delivered to the front porch by UPS or FedEx or whoever brings them, and you just kind of lose your mind. I mean, I do. I started running around screaming when they came, because it was like, they're here. I was lucky because my copies of Battle of the Brains came the day before Halloween. Now, I love Halloween. I love scary stuff. When I said I was writing fiction before, it was always scary stuff. Mysteries, thrillers, horror. I love that stuff. I love the scary stuff. Halloween's always been my favorite holiday. So my books came the day before Halloween. They got delivered. And I love horror. I love Halloween. I also love zombies. And what do zombies have to do with anything? Well, brains. So, I don't know if you saw my unboxing video. That's one of the things when authors has kind of become a thing, where authors do unbox their videos and film it so you can see them crying and screaming, being happy, and they're getting more and more advanced. Like, people have been doing just amazing, fantastic things, and everyone's always trying to top someone else. So, because mine came the day before Halloween, I love horror, I kind of had to do this. Let me cue it up. It's going to take me a second to get there. Hold on. But, I don't know if this is going to be, here's it. Okay, here we go. So if you hadn't seen it yet, this is my unboxing video. Nope, not that. Okay. This is my unboxing video for Battle of the Brains. Are you ready? Here we go. Okay. So there you go. It was so much fun. I was, I love zombies, and so it's so much fun to put the makeup on and be a little ridiculous to do my unboxing. So I hope people enjoyed that. And I've also got, I see Remy has now traveled. I think she was a little scared by the zombies. So she got off the couch and she's over here being, you see her, she's being super cute. And then of course, Kenzie's back there being just the most adorable dog who ever existed. All right, so what do we have next? Oh, I think it's time to do the reading. So I'm going to bring up the PowerPoint. I have PowerPoint, so you guys hopefully, again, fingers crossed. I don't know if it's gonna work. Bring the PowerPoint, and then I will do a reading of the opening and first section of Battle of the Brains. Idea of what it's like, and you can decide if you want to read about the rest of the animals, and I hope you will. Okay, so there we go. So we have Battle of the Brains. There we go. We got it. Battle of the Brains. Science behind animal minds. If you remember, the Battle of the Butts was the science behind animal behinds. So we had to go with our little rhyme there. Battle of the Brains. The science behind animal minds. By Jocelyn Risch and illustrated by David Crichton Feister. All right, here we go. Welcome to the Battle of the Brains. Birdbrained, Pigheaded, Silly Goose, Harebrained, Dingbat. When humans want to insult the intelligence of another person, they often compare them to an animal. But animals have amazing brains, and their amazing brains give them awesome abilities. These various brain powers evolve to help animals survive in different environments and social situations. Some animals can use tools, and some can solve complex problems. Some have excellent memories. A few can even talk to us. With so many animals possessing such groovy gray matter, the question is, who has the most marvelous mind of them all? That's for you to decide, because you're the judge in the Battle of the Brains. As you meet each challenger in this battle and learn about their brain power, it's up to you to rate them. Basic brain, solid smarts, cool cleverness, magnificent mind, incredible intelligence. You can assign your rating based on whatever factors you think are most important. Maybe it's the uniqueness of their brain power, or the helpfulness of their brain power, or even how loud their brain power makes you shout, "Wow!" It's up to you. Once you judge them all, you will then crown the winner of the coolest cranium. Let the Battle of the Brains begin. Challenger number 1 is the brainy blabbermouth. Introducing the African Grey Parrot. The species is, I can never pronounce these, it's Spedix erythicus. The brain size is 8.8 grams, which is about the size of a shelled walnut. The home turf is the rainforest in Western and Central Africa. The brain power is, they know what they're talking about. Hello, pretty bird. Polly wants a cracker. When you think about parrots talking, you probably think about one of these familiar phrases from our feathered friends. But African gray parrots can learn several hundred words. There is an African gray that sings happy birthday, one who asks Alexa to turn the lights on and off, and another who shouts, "Bombs away!" when pooping. Extra intelligence. In Japan, an African gray got lost and was taken to an animal clinic. He would greet people, sing popular children's songs, and say a name and address. It turned out it was the name and address of his owner, so the clinic was able to find the owner and reunite them. Even though African grays say a lot of words, people once assumed they only repeated what they heard without understanding the meaning. However, scientists have shown these bird brains can actually learn the meaning of words. They taught African Greys the names for colors, shapes, categories, materials, and numbers, and then quizzed the birds to see what they knew. To test identification skills, a scientist held up an object and asked a series of questions related to it. For example, while holding a piece of blue cloth cut in the shape of a triangle, the scientist asked, "What color?" The parrot correctly answered, "Blue." The scientist asked, "What matter?" which was how they asked for material. The parrot correctly answered, "Wool." The scientist asked, "What shape?" The parrot correctly answered, "Three-corner." To test same different skills, a scientist held up 2 green keys, one made of metal and one made of plastic. The scientist asked, "What same?" The parrot correctly answered, "Color." The scientist asked, "What different?" The parrot correctly answered, "Matter," which was material. To test counting skills, a scientist showed a tray with yellow blocks, red blocks, yellow balls, and red balls, and asked, "How many yellow blocks?" or "How many red balls?" The African Grey could count them correctly up to 8. Since the birds passed their tests with flying colors, it's clear they are not just mindless mimics. African Greys seem to understand words at about the level of a 6-year-old child. That's pretty impressive for an animal whose brain is the size of a shovel nut. Extra intelligence. Alex, the first parrot to learn to identify colors, was also the first animal to possibly ask a self-aware question. When placed in front of a mirror, he peered at himself and asked, "What color?" He hadn't been taught the color gray yet, so he saw himself in the mirror and wanted to know more about himself. The scientist quickly taught him the word gray so he could answer his own question. Brain bonus. African Greys have great memories. In an experiment, up to 4 different colored pom-poms were placed in cups and shuffled around, and then the subject was asked where a certain color was hiding. An African Grey competed against kids who were 6 to 8 years old, and he did better than all of them every time. He also competed against college students from Harvard and did better than them 85% of the time. What a smart birdie. So here comes the rating part. What do you think about these wordy birds? How would you rate the African Grey Parrot in the Battle of the Brains? Would you say it's a basic brain, solid smarts, cool cleverness, magnificent mind, or incredible intelligence? I don't know. I'm a little biased because I think all these animals are incredible. So it's hard for me to say. So it depends on what you guys say. All right, so you can let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you have a rating for these birds? Let me know. All right, so what do we have next? Do we have any questions? I am happy to answer any questions about reading nonfiction, researching nonfiction, publishing nonfiction, publishing in general, any of these animals. If you have any questions about any of these 10 animals, I'm happy to answer them. So you can, like I said, if you're in, for sure, Facebook and Instagram, you can put it in the comments and it'll pop up and I'll be able to see them. And I'm happy to answer them. So my next thing I'm going to do is one of the animals in Battle of the Brains is my favorite animal. And although my 2 little helpers have both run off and abandoned me while we were while we're doing the reading, dogs are one of my favorite animals. So in the dog chapter, we talk about the pointing experiment. Dogs are so very cued into to their humans. Oh, I'm getting a doggy. Oh, late breaking news. I'm getting a doggy. Hold on. Kinsey says she's gonna come up. Here she comes. Here she comes. Look. You want to look at the? No, she doesn't want to look at the camera. She's a little camera shy, but she's being very sweet. So doggies are they just are very cute into humans. They in all these incredible ways. Maybe they're manipulating us. It's not a maybe. They're totally manipulating us. But they read human signals very well. And so one of the experiments a lot of scientists do with dogs is the pointing experiment. And so they test all kinds of different variables with dog points. All right, Kenzie's decided she's leaving. Okay, and so they follow our cues. Like if we point, they will follow us. And as you will find out in the book, there's other ways you can cue them too. Like they will even do like a nod or a bow, or just even you just kind of do a look. They will follow our cues. And so I wanted to put our dogs to the test. And so the Rich family dogs, I tried the most simple version. The simple version of the experiment is you just have 3 cups. You put a treat under 1 cup and you point to it. You put the treats all around the cups, all 3 cups, so that they all smell the same, so they can't cheat by smelling the treat out. And then you also do a little training session, although I will admit mine was probably too short of a training session, to let them know that when they find the treat, they get the treat. So if they follow your point to the correct cup, they get the treat. So Miss Kenzie, who you just saw on camera, took part in the pointing session, and even she's only 3 months old. She's a little baby, and she did very well. So I'm going to share with you her training session and pointing session. Here we go. Hopefully, we're going to do our best. Oop, okay, here we go. Share it. Hopefully, maybe I am. Okay, yes, and I'm going to make it bigger. And I'm going to start it. Here we go. Here she goes.
All right. Kenzie, you ready? You point? Good girl! That's a good girl. And now we're going to do the little puppy Miss Kenzie. She's only 3 months old, but she likes food, so let's see how it goes. Ready? All right, Kenzie, point. Ready? She smells it on my finger. Oh, Kenzie, it's Kenzie. Touch it down. Oh, good girl. That's a good girl. The puppy did so good. Good girl.
Okay, there you have it. Miss Kenzie, I think she's brilliant. I think she's an absolute genius, right? I've got another crown. Oh, no, I lost it. I had it on, but I lost it. There we go. Another crown on. So, because we're doing, the crowning of the craniums. But anyway, nope, we lost it. So anyway, Kenzie did exceptionally well in her pointing. So, I'm going to keep trying different experiments with her pointing and see how she does. And they're all off camera, so I can't show you too. Okay, so I am going to. Does anybody have any questions? I'm happy to answer questions. You can just type them in the comments, either on Instagram, Facebook, maybe Twitter. They'll come through, but I'm not sure depending on where you're watching. So let me know if you have any questions, and I am happy to answer. Okay, I do see a question that says, how do you research the animals? That is an excellent question, because there was a lot of research in this book. Especially with brains, with butts, it was kind of easier because I just had to find out the animals who did weird things with their butts, about, why and how and what it meant. But with brains, it was a lot more complicated because there's a lot of very smart animals. So I tried to pick 10 animals, one that kind of went across the spectrum from, birds and insects and mammals and, the aquatic animals. So I wanted to get the spectrum plus the different types of intelligence. So, for example, one of the kind of obvious ones is elephants is in the book. And everyone knows about elephants and memories. That's like that's like the thing everyone knows about the memory of elephants. So they covered the memory aspect. And we read the chapter about the African Grey Parrot. So they talk about, kind of acting human, not acting human, but they can talk to us. We can understand them. They can understand us. So I tried to then find animals where I could get the different aspects on the intelligence scale, because there's all kinds of intelligence. And I hope that, as kids read this book, I want them to understand there's no one way to be smart. Like, there's so many different ways to be smart. There's, artistic and words and math and science, and there's just a whole bunch of ways. And I think these animals help demonstrate that. All of these 10 animals are amazingly smart. And there were so many animals I couldn't fit in, like that I wanted to fit in, but I couldn't fit in. So trying to narrow it down, I'm trying to show that like some different ways of being smart. So once I had kind of figured out the animals, I started reading a whole bunch of studies, tried to find all the papers I could find, all the scientific studies. Sometimes it's a challenge because a lot of them are hidden behind paywalls, and you either have to pony up a ton of money, or sometimes you can get creative with your Googling and find them. Sometimes you have a friend who is a professor like I do. Thanks, Katie. And she can get the studies for you. I had a great friend. And I just say, hey, can you get this for me? And she would track it down and send it to me, which was so helpful. But you read the studies, and then you try to distill down into kid-friendly sound bites that they will think is cool, they will understand. Because a lot of experiments that are done with these animals are very, there's a lot of steps to make sure you're being accurate and you aren't swaying it just the way you want to sway it. And so there's a lot of guardrails and stuff. And so to be able to boil it down was a big challenge. And so, you just keep reading and try and get as much information as you can and then figure it out. All right. Let's see if there are any other questions. Checking. Oh, input from scientists. Okay. All right. So that's a good one. So I just talked about how I was reading all these papers and having to boil them down, but then sometimes I might be putting my bias in them and they weren't quite right anymore. So after I had written everything, I contacted scientists to get them to read what I had written to make sure it was still correct, after I had taken this huge amount of data and turned it into this tiny little bit of data. And it's funny because when I first did Battle of the Butts, I really didn't know what I was doing about contacting scientists. And I had heard about this website. I'm going to drop it in the chat. It's called 500 Women Scientists. And it's a website where all these women scientists got together because typically men scientists are given preference when there's interviews, when there's shows, anything, people go to men scientists. And there are all these women out there who are doing incredible work. And so they want to be asked for their opinion and want to be asked, to give their input on things. And so I was so lucky to find this website. And so for Battle of the Butts, for each of my animals, I went through and did searches till I found experts on all 10 of my animals, and I sent them emails, and they were just amazing. And I say it's called 500 Women Scientists, but one, is way more than 500. There's just like tons and tons of scientists out there. And two, it's not just women anymore. It's very marginalized scientists. So scientists who are gender nonconforming or POC, so anyone who's not maybe being the first line that someone's coming to, and want to be able to contribute to all the wonderful thing that's going on there with science. So it's an incredible website. If you're doing any kind of research at all, I highly recommend it. And so for Battle of the Butts, I found these scientists. They were so great and wonderful. And it was kind of surprising to me how willing they were to help. They have these jobs and everything they're doing. They're working hard, and they were willing to take the time to read the stuff, offer their opinions. So when it was ready for Battle of the Brains, I had a bunch of scientists I went back to again because they were covering, they experts in one animal, and so they were experts in another animal. But because I was a little more brave, because I already had one book under my belt, I also approached several of the scientists whose papers I used. I read and research their papers, I want sure I got their actual experiments right when I talked about them. And so I contacted them and asked them to read. And they were wonderful too. It's just, they love what they do. They love the animals they're studying. They love their science, and they're just happy to help. And so that was just such a wonderful thing. And it was very cool because like one of the scientists was Dr. Irene Pepperberg, and she is the scientist who studies the African Grey Parrots, which is the chapter I read. And if y'all are about the same age I am, you might remember Alex, the African Grey Parrot. That was the first gray she was working with, and he was amazing. He knew so many words. He was so smart. And so she would show him off everywhere. Like she took him on those animal shows, like Incredible Animals. She took him to all the late night talk shows. I remember seeing her all the time back in the early 2000s with Alex, and he was amazing. And I do remember hearing when he passed away, I actually cried because he was just so amazing, and just, he was so inspiring because of how fantastic it was, as was Dr. Irene Pepperberg. And so I used all her papers when I was writing the chapter about the African Greys. And so I'm like, okay, well, am I brave enough? Can I do this? And so I found her email address and I reached out to her and asked her if she would read the chapter. And she was the very first one. Literally, I think it was a minute after I sent the email, she got back to me. And she's like, I'd be happy to. And she was amazing. She had a couple tweaks I need to make because I was anthropomorphizing a bit more than I probably should have been. So she got me to take that step back and be a little scientific rather than anthropomorphizing. And she was so awesome. And she asked, because I offer, all the scientists a copy of the book. And she's like, I want a signed copy. And I'm like, oh my gosh, Irene Pepperberg, who I've admired for all these years, wants a signed copy of my book. It was so amazing. And then another one of my scientists, I say my scientist, right? My scientist, the scientist who helped me with my books. She is Dr. Joanna. I'm going to butcher her last name. I feel so bad. It's Bagnowski. I'm so sorry, Joanna, if you're watching this. I'm so sorry, but I call her Dr. Joanna. And she helped me with several of the animals in Battle of the Butts. And she was back again to help me with several of the animals in Battle of the Brains. And when I sent her couple of the chapters, when she sent back her feedback on the rat chapter, she's like, surely if you're talking about smart rats, you want to include this fact. I'm not going to say it because I'm not going to spoil it. But when she's like, what? I didn't hear that. All the reading I did, I never heard about that. So I started researching, and it was the coolest thing ever. And I knew that David Crichton-Pester, the illustrator, would do an amazing job with that fact. And he did. It's the big spread. You'll know it when you see it. It is so cool. And I am so glad. Thank you, Dr. Joanna, for letting me know about those cool things that that's happening with rats so that we can include it in the rats chapter. It's amazing. David did an amazing job, and y'all are just going to love it when you see it. So it's not only did the scientists help you, the facts are as right as they can be, they might also know some things you haven't found as you've been searching. So always contact your science experts when you're writing nonfiction. All right. Does anybody else have any questions? No, I'm not seeing any. Oh, I just see someone's asked. I said about what other animals when I was trying to think of when I had my list and I was trying to narrow it down, and I had asked anybody any guesses. Well, I will tell you. So, of course, we had the raccoons because they were the ones who originally inspired the idea but didn't quite make the final cut. We also have bees. Bees are so smart. My brother actually raises bees. So cool. I've learned so much about bees as he's raised his bees and done all the things that I've learned about them. And it was very hard not to include them. But since I had another insect in there, I decided to not go with them. Another one was the pigeon. I would never have known that pigeons are super duper smart. And so I was very tempted to add them, but I already had 2 birds. So I felt like adding the pigeon would have been overkill on the birds. And another one is squirrels. Squirrels are so smart. If you have squirrels in your backyard and you have a bird feeder, you know how smart they are. I have spent so many hours trying to stop the squirrels in my backyard from eating the food in the bird feeder. So they're super smart. And again, I was tempted, but they were another mammal I was trying to cut down on the number of mammals. So there are a couple of animals that were on the short list but didn't quite make the cut. All right, anybody have any other questions? No, I'm not seeing any. Let's see if I had anything else. I was trying to see if there was anything else I was supposed to include. I'm looking at my assistant who has a note for me. Oh, I know. I totally forgot. The winners. I'm supposed to do the winners. So for the giveaways, all right, this is it, man. Go there and you got like 30 seconds left, man. I'm going to give you 30 seconds left if you want to enter the giveaway. JocelynRisch.com, JOCELYN.Risch.com. And that is where you're going to, if you're going to enter, I'm like stalling to give you a minute. So my assistant off screen, stall, is going to go select the winners. All right. And again, and then while we're getting a minute for that, if you have any other questions, I'm going to actually drop the link in again for if you want to order butts, if you want a signed copy that will come with the stickers and the bonuses, you want those. And then there has been another little development. Kinsey has come over to say hi. She says, hi, everybody. Hi. I'm stalling. We're stalling, Kinsey. Can you entertain the folks while the last minute entries? Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to ask my assistant to draw the winners. Okay, assistant. Okay, they're drawing the winners. All right, if you will hand me the envelope, please. Okay, all right. I got the envelope. All right, you ready? So here we go for I was going to show you. Wait, no. I was going to show you. I'm still stalling. If you want to know. Okay, so you saw the video with Kinsey signing the book. So the 3 winners, there we go. 3 winners will all get, I'll sign it too, but I know it's actually more exciting for the Kinsey signature. So there you go. So you get a signed copy of Battle of the Brains. You get a signed copy of Battle of the Butts. You get stickers. And you also saw in the video, you get a brain fart. Brain fart. There you go. Brain fart. So all 3 prize packages have those. And so then of course it goes up from there. All right. So okay, here we go. We got the winners. Here we go. All right. So the second runner up. And I will read the prizes. Let's see. The second runner up is you get. Oops, I messed up. Hold on. There we go. You get second runner up gets a signed copy of All the Brains, signed copy of Battle of the Butts, the brain fart, and the brain stickers. And that second runner up is Christine W. I don't know if there we go. I don't know if it's getting Christine W is the winner. Second runner up. Christine W. There you go. Second runner up is Christine W. All right. Congratulations, Christine. I will email you and we will get your prizes to you. All right, so the first runner-up gets a signed copy of Battle of the Brains, photographed by Kinsey, signed copy of Battle of the Butts, spider earrings, the brain farts, which Kinsey has run off with my fart, so I can't even show that anymore. She went off with it. And brains, a stack of brain stickers. All right, okay. So the first runner-up is Maura C. There we go. Maura C. There we go. All right, Maura. I will be emailing you about your prize. All right. So now the big grand prize winner. I'm not even go through them. You saw the video. There's a prize for each of the 10 animals. I hope they're fun. I try to find a variety of stuff. I hope you guys like them. Signed copy of brain, signed copy of butts, $50 gift card, all kinds of fun stuff. And the grand prize winner is, you ready? Grand prize winner is Lynn J. Congratulations, Lynn J. Oop, there we go. I will be contacting you. I'll send you an email about your prize and how to get it to you. All right. So I guess I'm wrapping up. Kenzie is coming over here again. Let me see if I can get her. Oh, she's not sure. Here we go. Kenzie says hi. You say hi, everybody. Oh, she's not even. She's like, oh, I don't know. So now we're doing some chewing. All right. Say hi to everybody, Kenzie. There you go. There she goes. She's so cute. I love her. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining me for this launch celebration for Battle of the Brains. I hope you learned some stuff about brains. I hope you learned some stuff about nonfiction. I had so much fun celebrating it. It's so amazing to have another book out in the world. And thank you guys so much. You can still order it from all the places you order, but if you order from Itinerant, you will get stickers and the digital bonuses. So you can order from there. And your book will be signed and personalized, so that's always fun. So go to my website. You can either go directly to the Itinerant, which I've dropped in the comments, or you can go to jocelynrich.com. I've got the links all there. So I hope you order Battle of the Brains. And I'm also going to shamelessly beg that once you have read it, I hope you will leave a review at Goodreads or Amazon or Barnes & Noble. All those places help an author so much. And if you don't want to buy it this time, if you would request it from your local library requests are a huge help for authors. I'm also going to be doing author visits for schools and libraries. So if you are a teacher or a librarian, keep an eye on my website. I will be doing visits very soon. I'm excited about it. They'll be virtual, I think, for now, but we'll see how it goes. And otherwise, thank you so much for joining me. And I hope you have a wonderful evening. Thanks, guys. Bye.